All right, so I just checked with the family, and what Microsoft is doing with this new recall feature is, well, it's disrespectful to consumers. So if you don't know what the recall feature is, it's basically an AI tool built into the latest versions of Windows 11 and/or a new computer with Copilot that takes snapshot, recalls everything that you do, records it. And now the last I checked, you can disable it and or remove it, but apparently those features are subject to change. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let's talk to my two AI friends, Google's powered AI research tool. I call them Frick and Frack. And let's see what they have to say about all this recall nonsense. Let's take a listen.
So you want to talk about Microsoft Recall.
Yeah.
Deep diving into this thing was wild.
Okay.
It's like a fascinating, kind of creepy, all at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation starter.
Like, imagine having a photographic memory.
Okay.
Not just for your life, though, but for your computer's entire life.
Yeah.
Everything you've done.
That's recall in a nutshell. Screen captures every 5 seconds. We're talking over 17,000 images every single day. It's like this crazy detailed record of everything you do digitally.
It's a lot, right?
Oh.
And on the one hand, think about what we could do with that. Lost an important file.
Oh, I can see where you're going with this.
Remember that snippet of code you wrote weeks ago but can't quite recall? Poof. Gone. Instantly accessible.
Exactly.
Mm.
Or even bigger picture. Think about cybersecurity. Let's say you're an analyst investigating a breach. Instead of digging through mountains of logs, you can rewind, see exactly when the attacker got in, what they accessed, even track where the data went. And you can do all this in minutes.
It's like we're suddenly giving these cybersecurity pros superpowers. But, and I'm sure you saw this coming, with great power,
Oh yeah, there's always a flip side.
there's always potential for things to go very, very wrong.
It's not just about going wrong, it's about what's at stake.
Right, right. We were talking about those images.
17,000 images per day.
It's a gold mine of information. And not the good kind, necessarily.
Your browsing history, every personal document, those messages you thought were private, all right there.
Man, it really makes you think twice about what you do online. I mean, imagine if someone got a hold of all of that.
It'd be like someone going through your trash, except they can perfectly read every single scrap of paper. No, it's worse. It's every keystroke you've ever made.
And you know it gets worse. Researchers have already created a tool, Total Recall they're calling it. And it can crack this thing wide open.
Yeah, I read about that. Full access, finding, copying, even translating it all into a format you can actually read.
So not only is all this information being stored, but it's vulnerable. That's a nightmare.
It's a huge concern, absolutely.
Forget identity theft. This is like identity hijacking.
Think about it. Those late-night shopping decisions you make.
Oh, God, yes.
Embarrassing typos in your work emails. All of it. It's just out there.
It's like handing someone a loaded weapon. What's Microsoft even doing about this? They have to know about these risks. So they're just sitting on this ticking time bomb of privacy problems. What are they doing about it?
Well, they heard us. The cybersecurity community made some noise, and they hit pause on the rollout.
Okay, so they're listening at least. That's something.
They're promising some beefed-up security, tougher encryption.
Make it harder to crack.
Exactly. And multi-factor authentication.
So you'd need more than just a password to get into your recall data.
Right.
Okay, those sound like steps in the right direction, but let's be real for a second. Hackers, they love a challenge. It's almost like a game, isn't it?
You're not wrong. Find the weakness, exploit the vulnerability.
Exactly. Are these measures really enough to make a difference?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? No system is perfect. There's always a way in. Hackers are persistent.
So where does that leave us? Recall is still kind of up in the air, right?
Yeah.
What can people do now to get ready for a future where this tech might be everywhere?
That's the right attitude. Be proactive, not reactive. Don't panic. First things first. Be careful about what you let Recall see. When it launches, there should be some controls.
Like choosing what apps it tracks or something.
Right. Be granular, especially with anything super sensitive.
Working with client data. Maybe you don't need to record any of that.
Precisely. Next, don't be cheap about security software. Think of it like an investment in peace of mind. Get a good antivirus, a strong firewall.
Frontline defenses. Makes sense. What else?
This one is simple but important. Less is more when it comes to data.
You mean how long recall keeps your stuff?
Exactly. If they let you choose, keep it short. The less there is to steal, the better.
It's kind of wild when you think about it. This one piece of technology, and it just brings up so many questions about privacy, about security, even just like how we interact with technology. This is big.
It really is. Microsoft Recall really throws it all into focus. Convenience versus privacy. It's a trade-off that's not going away anytime soon.
As we wrap up our deep dive into Microsoft Recall, here's the takeaway. Start thinking about this stuff now. What level of data collection are you okay with? Because it's not just about you, it's about all of us. The choices we make now, they're shaping the digital world we're all going to be living in.
All right. I think I've heard enough. I need to call Uncle Guido in Sicily, if you know what I mean. All right, time for my morning coffee. Yeah, we'll talk more about this in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this ad-free content, and let me know what you all think about all this. My goodness.